first aid for someone who's having a seizure. What is a seizure? A seizure is a sudden disruption of electrical activity in a person's brain. Seizures are very unpredictable and can happen at just about any time. Today I will be showing you how to provide first aid to someone who's having a seizure, and we will provide first aid from the instant the seizure starts till they fully recover. Okay. Seizures can happen to just about anybody, at any time, any place, anywhere, and for any reason. So knowing first aid is very helpful when you run into a situation where someone's having a seizure. My experiences with seizures started when my son was 1 year old. He had his first seizure and caught us all by surprise on his first birthday. Ever since then, he's had a continuous, he continuously has seizures throughout his life. Now at 23, the experience that I've gained with his seizures allows me to be able to have experience, know what to do, know when to do it, and how to do it while he's in the process of having a seizure. Today I will demonstrate first how to recognize seizure, or try to recognize a seizure. Second, to ensure the safety of the person having the seizure. Third, I'll explain the need to keep time. I'll explain under what circumstances that you need to contact 911. And finally, I will show you how to assist the person during the recovery stages of the seizure. So this is Lisette. She's going to be my seizure victim for today. And I will now provide you with information and examples how to recognize someone having a tonic-clonic seizure. Okay? So recognizing a seizure is very hard to do. Sometimes you're lucky and you'll see the entire process. The process includes a blank stare. Their eyes are fixed into, and it look like they're staring into space. So sometimes they're non-responsive. They lose consciousness and fall. On the onset of a seizure, their muscles tend to tense up, and what they end up doing is they end up giving a groan or a yelling sound when their muscles start to contract. So right now, I'm going to have my assistant lay on the floor and pretend that she's had a tonic-clonic seizure. And at this point in time, we notice that she's having the seizure and she's starting to stiffen up. Her eyes are fixed, staring like a blank stare, and she's lost consciousness. So she's not responding to anything that I'm doing. So what I want to do is, she's already starting to have her convulsions. And what you first want to do is you want to get the victim and protect their head. Okay, make sure that they're not going to hit anything. Make sure that they're not in any danger, or that anybody else is in any danger. Second, if you have something for their head, go ahead and place a pillow, a jacket, a blanket, or something that's useful. Okay, next, you will turn her on her side. What this does is that this allows the saliva to come out of her mouth instead of choking on it. And what you don't want to do is stick anything in her mouth. Okay, so at this time, you will be staying with the victim until their seizure is over. Okay? After you've ensured the individual's safety, what you'll do is follow a few guidelines that will provide support during and through the recovery of the seizure. First thing, it's important to keep track of the active seizure. Make sure that it doesn't last longer than 5 minutes. Make sure that that if it is longer than 5 minutes, that you call 911. You basically look to anybody in the crowd, or if you have your cell phone, call 911 and let them know that you have a victim having a seizure. 2, if it's their first seizures, you want to call 911. And you also want to call 911 if the person does not stop seizing without a break in between. Okay? So now that following these guidelines will help protect the person during a seizure, provide valuable information to the paramedics and so on and so forth if 911 is needed to be called. Okay? What you want to do is once a person stops seizing, you want to make sure that the person becomes fully alert and responsive. You want to make sure that you comfort the person because they may be embarrassed, they may be frightened, or they may be exhausted from the seizure. So once they start coming to and they start recovering, reassure them that they're okay. Let them know that they just had a seizure, and also make sure that you stay with the person until they're done or completely recovered. So that way they are able to go about their day and function normally. Okay? Okay, go ahead, get up. Now that we've provided first aid to a person having a seizure, I hope that you can be a little bit more comfortable in providing help when needed to someone who's having a seizure. Remember to identify the seizure, provide safety and comfort, and make sure they make a full recovery. The ability to care for someone who is having a seizure can make a world of difference to a loved one, a family member, or even a friend who may be in need at the time. So hopefully this information you'll be able to use and take and provide help if you ever come across someone who's having a seizure. Thank you very much.